Hello, Miss J. Welcome to my speech. This might be a little awkward, but it's okay. So I decided to do my speech on the history of soccer. I chose this topic because soccer is my favorite sport, and I was hoping that this year I might be able to have a great senior season, but I'm not sure how that's gonna go. Anyway, here's to it. So it is a very widely disputed sport. It's popular among the entire globe. It has been played for many, many centuries, and a bunch of countries like to claim that they were the origin, but there was never one set place. There are records from all over that can prove that it could be the origin, but they're just not sure. So, as I said, records trace history of soccer back more than 2,000 years ago to ancient China. But Greece, Rome, Central America, and other European countries also claim to have started the sport. But England was the one who officially transitioned football into the game we know today by adding rules and regulations and processes to the sport to make it more official. But there was an uncovered book by the title of Vocabula, written by a Scottish man that refutes all of the previous claims, saying that now Scotland deserves to be the one origin. It was a detailed description of a game using terms like goalkeeper, kickoff, and switch halves, which are all aspects of the soccer game. This book was written in the 14th century, 400 years prior to the English Football Association formation. Plus, if that's not enough, there's also this evidence of a 15th century old football, found in a Scottish castle yard. I'm not sure how they can tell how old it is, but it was just a really old ball in a courtyard, and they use that as evidence to prove how old it was. But, so Scotland now has the highest or the most favorable story of it being the origin of soccer. So the rules to the game include the duration of it is 90 minutes long, 2 45-minute halves. For big leagues and pros, the halftime is 15 minutes long, but for like high school games, it's only 5 minutes. If the game ends in a tie, then a shootout must commence, or they'll just sometimes do like a draw, or they'll extend it for a few minutes, but that's only if like daylight permits, if they don't have any lights on the field, or if just time permits. And the shootout is when each team picks a handful of players to kick the ball at the goalie. It's 1-on-1, and they have to like be however many feet away and then kick the ball at the goalie. And then it's a 50-50 shot on whether or not they make it. And then whoever scored the most points in that set of time with that many players wins the game based off the shootout. So in the game on the field, there are 11 players, one of which is a goalkeeper, and they are the key player, being that they're the last line of defense, and they are the only players that can handle the ball with their hands. And I am Prairie du Chien's goalie, and I love the position. You can receive fouls in the game, and it's yellow cards and red cards, and it's up to the discretion of the referee as to how bad the foul was, so he can discern which color to give you. 2 yellows result in a red, so yellows are warnings, and then reds are when a player gets kicked off the field because their foul was so great and it put the other player at risk of getting hurt. And if you get out on a red card, you cannot be replaced by someone. So then that team that had a player kicked off is at a disadvantage. There's also offsides, which is when an attacking player is in front of the last defender when a pass is played through to them. So in that case, it's when the team is trying to just sit by the goal and have a pass to them, which is just not fair. So offsides is kind of hard to understand and hard to describe to you, but basically it's just don't hang out by the goalie because it's just not fair. So it's kind of weird because soccer by Americans is known as soccer, but to the rest of the globe it's known as football. But the word soccer is believed to have originated in Britain some 200 years ago. It was like a colloquial version of association football. So it was just known around the time as soccer to the Britons, but then because Americans started using it, they didn't like it, so then they went back to football. So because the term soccer gained popularity with Americans, it distinguished football from football. So it was soccer and football. Overall, no matter all of the disputes, it is a popular sport. According to FIFA, there are more than 240 million people globally around the world that play the sport. So that is the history of soccer, and I hope you enjoyed.